Here we go. Question number 11. All right, was anybody able to do it without my help? What was the answer?
I got
B. Anybody else?
I got
I got a B, I got a D,
I got I put C.
A, and C. All right, so we got a little bit of everything here. All right, now again, this really is the hard one. All right, and so if you didn't get it, it's okay. I just want you to follow me. All right, and make sure everything I'm doing makes sense to you. All right, and again, like I said, this is it's hard as it gets. All right, and I'm going to tell you that this one is not it's not going to be this hard at all. All right, so this is the one to separate people to see how well you're doing. All right, now the first thing I want you to do is I want you to look up here. Does everybody see the first equation? There's x's, so we can kind of combine terms. Everybody agree with that? So does everybody agree we could write this b equals 2x minus 7? Does everybody agree with that? And then we could write, for example, c equals 2y minus 7. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so that's something I feel like everybody should have been, aware of. All right, then the only other thing we have to look at is we have to write this. And I think that was pretty obvious where it said b is equal to c minus 1/2. Is everybody okay with that? B is equal to c minus 1/2. Now I look at my answers, guys. I think this is one of the most important things I can help you do when you take standardized tests is look at your answers. We want x equals. And we want x equal to something that has to do with what? Y. Right? So when I look at this right here, I have b. All right? Well, I can convert b to a what? X, because b is what? 2x minus 7. So let's do that. 2x minus 7 equals. Now what does c equal? What does c equal? So I can replace this c with 2y minus 7. 2y minus 7 minus 1/2. Everybody look at that and see what I'm getting at, right? Now, why did I put it in terms of x and y? Because I looked at my answers. Everybody agree with that? And my answers had what? X and y. All right. Now, what can I do to this 7 and this 7? Cancels. So right now it is just 2x equals 2y minus 1/2. Is everybody okay with that? Now I want 1y, so I just have to do what? Divide by 2. So x is equal to y. Now what's half of 1/2? 1/4. So yay for those of you guys who put what? A is correct. Is everybody good with that? Like I said, that's hard, and I don't want you to even worry about it. I want you to look at that, and I want you to say, okay, that kind of makes sense what he did. All right, I'm not asking you to reproduce that. I'm just saying that's just substitution. All right? Now, let's continue on. All right, let's talk about number 12. All right, what am I solving for here, guys? X. So what should I eliminate?
Y.
The y. Now, it's easier to eliminate the x, but it'll take me more time. Does everybody agree with that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the y. So when I eliminate the y, I'm going to multiply the top by what?
3.
3 and the bottom by
-4.
-4. All right, I just think that's the easiest way to do that. That's what I mean by showing your work tomorrow. You can check it on your calculator if you want, but I want you to show your work. All right, so now when I distribute the 3, I end up with -9x plus 12y equals 60. -24x minus 12y equals -60, which I thought was really good for me. The reason because -33x is equal to what?
0.
So I knew then x had to be what?
0.
X is 0. Yes,
I did it by just multiplying the top by 2.
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
I still got 0.
And you're going to get a y equals. Then you have to plug that in for x, right, to solve for x. That's what I'm saying. There's multiple ways of doing it. I'm just saying, for me personally, I look at what I'm trying to solve for. I'm trying to solve for what? X. So to me, it's easier to eliminate the what? Just go ahead and eliminate the y's. Then that gives me the x. That gives me the answer. And I won't have to plug that number in for y to go get x. Does that make sense? All right, now this is the section in the book that we skipped because I just thought it was kind of easy. All right, and I'm trying to see if that is true. All right, what did you think?
I got C.
C,
C.
C.
B, good,
C.
And
good.
C.
C's, C, B. Okay, now let's see what it says. All right, again, I don't think this is hard. All right, so she's working as a tutor and she's getting paid $12 per hour for what? For tutoring. And then she gets paid $9.50 per hour for what? For a lifeguard. Now, here's where you have to be careful. It says that she can work no more than 20 hours. If she can work no more than 20 hours, that means she has to work what?
less than or equal to.
Yeah, she has to work less than or equal to 20 hours. And keep in mind the x and the y are the hours. So x plus y has to be less than or equal to 20. Now your job, come on, your job is to go down and eliminate. All right? So A, right here, that's out because that means she has to work more than 20 hours. B, okay, correct?
Yeah.
C, okay. D, what?
Out.
Now, you've narrowed it down to a 50-50 chance just because you knew that the hours combined had to be less than or equal to 20. The next thing is she says she wants to make at least $220. If she wants to make at least 220, that means she wants to make what? Greater than. All right? She wants to make greater than 220. Well, this one right here says what? Less than $200. Again, remember now, a lot of people made a mistake because they said least, and so they thought it was less. If you want to make at least 220, that means you want to make 220 or more. So again, the correct answer here had to be what?
C.
Correct answer, guys, had to be C. All right. Again, I thought that was a nice question. All right. All right, let's check out 14, please. All right, now, in my opinion, as soon as I see a fraction, I think the easiest thing to do is to get rid of the fraction. All right, so I'm looking at this divided by 2, divided by 2, so I'm just going to go ahead and multiply everything through by what?
2.
When I multiply everything through by 2, it makes the problem a little bit easier. All right, so if I do that, that just becomes 2x plus y equals what?
21.
21. And now we look here and say, what does y equal?
2x.
So that means wherever I see a y, I can put what?
2x.
Come on, that's pretty easy. 2x plus 2x equals 21. 4x equals 21. X equals 21 over 4. And if you put 5.25, I'm pretty happy with that. Either one of those is acceptable. Hey, just let him alone. Yes, sir.
I got 4 over 21. So did I.
4 over 21 would be incorrect. All right? It's not 5.25. All right? The question I have for you, bless you, is this. Tell me where you made your mistake. That's what I want you to look at. I want you to always look at my work and try to see, okay, here's what he's thinking. Now, where did I make my mistake at?
Okay, so somehow I got. Look at that. Look at the mistake. Yeah, I made it at the very beginning.
Okay, thank you. All right? Anybody have any questions with 14? Anybody have any issues? Nobody? All right, here we go with 15. Now this is a really interesting problem. Really, lots of cool ways of doing this. Please look up. Now, this literally is 5 seconds. You should already know the answer. Just you could look at it and tell me what the answer is.
Yep.
Right. How do we do that?
If you make it elimination, the 2 1/2 y's cancel out, so it's just x equals.
You're just adding them, guys. You can just add them, right? Now look what happens when you add them. These do what? Cancel. So we just have x equals what? 6. Now, again, there are many ways, and sometimes you just don't see it. Like I had some kids tell me that y equals what? 8. So if y equals 8, then they go in and plug in 8. Are you going to get the same answer?
No. Yes.
Yes, you'll get the same answer. All right? Anybody have any questions with that? That one's kind of a good little tricky question. All right, let's look at 16. Now, for 16, this is something else I hadn't really showed you. But these are the types of things when you take your test that you're supposed to kind of say, well, I'm not sure, but they give me a bunch of points. So what can I do with those points?
Eliminate. Or plug them in.
Plug them in. That's what we're doing. We're plugging them in. So let me show you what I mean. For A, you plug in here. All right? When I plug in there, I get -1 is less than or equal to 3 times -2 plus 1. -1 is less than or equal to -5. Is that true? Is -1 less than -5?
No.
No. So I can safely cross out what? A. Then I just move into B. Okay, so when I put in B, 3 is less than or equal to -3 plus 1. Is 3 less than -3 plus 1?
No.
No, so I can cross that one out. Now I'm going on to C. Is 5 less than or equal to 3 plus 1? Is 5 less than 4?
Yes. No.
Definitely 5 is not less than 4. So I now can cross out C. So the only possible answer is what? D. That's how easy that is.
So all you're doing is just plugging in the x and y.
Brilliant. Wow. Very good. That's exactly what we're doing. Just plugging in for X and Y. What?
And also, like, if you put all the points in the second equation, none of them fit except for B.
That is correct. All right. That's what we were doing. Except I don't put them in for both of them because as soon as one of them is eliminated, I can eliminate the whole thing. It has to work for both points. It has to work for both points. All right? Yes.
So you just kind of plug all of them in and then just cancel.
Yeah, you're supposed to, come on. You see come on, Emily, you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You just plug the numbers in. That's what I said. Plugging the numbers in. All right, here we go. For 17. Again, now for 17, it says y is equal to 18. So I just plug 18 in for y.
Why?
All right? And if I plug y, 18 in for y, I get x is equal to what? 12.
Because 2/3 of
2/3 of 18 is 12. What? Jackson, what? I'm working. All right? So right now I have x equals 12. So if x equals 12, now I'm just plugging 12 in here. 24 minus 3. Correct answer is 21. A. Any issues with that? I thought that was kind of easy. All right. Now here we go with 18. All right, now you just had to be careful on this one. Now, this one's particularly easy, I thought, because when I'm looking at it and I'm adding that, the y's cancel out nicely. So I have what? 13x is equal to 13, so x is equal to 1. Now I need to figure out what y is. So I plug 1 in for x. 7 plus 3y is equal to 8. So 3y is equal to 1. Y equals 1/3. Y is equal to 1/3. And if y is equal to 1/3, then 1 minus 1/3 is equal to what? 2/3. So my answer is B. All right. Any questions with 18? All right, let's check out 19 now. All right, does everybody again agree? If I have a fraction, to me, it's just easier to get rid of the fraction. So if I'm going to get rid of the fraction, I want you to say x plus 4y equals 12. Everybody see that? Any questions? Now, wherever I see an x, I can put what?
Y minus 3.
So now I have y minus 3 plus 4y equals 12. 5y equals 15, so y equals 3. Now, do I have to figure out what x is?
No.
No, the reason why I don't have to figure out x is because I'm always looking at my answers. The only one that has a y value of 3 is what?
B.
So the correct answer, B. Anybody have any questions with that? Agreed, pretty easy. All right, here we go now on 20. Here you should be able to tell me that B is what?
Is 20.
B is 20. Now that I know B is 20, I just replace it up here. So A minus 20 equals 12. So A is what?
52.
Now again, remember the most important thing is that you're reading the question. The question says, what is A plus B? So then my correct answer is 52. All right? Yes.
Number 19, I plugged D in and I got
I don't know what you mean, D.
I plugged 36 and negative 6 in for X and Y.
And you can see that doesn't work, obviously,
No, I
right?
thought it worked.
For the first one, come on now. Come on. X equals Y minus 3. So negative 6 minus 3. That's not 36.
Oh, I was just
You see what I'm
looking at the
saying,
bottom
right?
equation.
And again, that's a good lesson. When you're solving the system, remember the system has to work for what? Both equations, not just one. All right? Any questions now? Shh. All right. So again, let me say, guys, we finished a little bit early. All right? We're not talking. We're not giggling. We're not, you are taking the word problems 1 through 30. I sent you a blank copy. You can open them up in your iPad and you can start redoing 1 through 30. Now again, I've tried to tell you, I think you're pretty good at solving the equations. You could work on setting them up. I also posted the solutions, if I'm not mistaken. So just in case you forgot yours or you lost it or something happened, you have the solutions. Is everybody hearing me? So again, I don't want you talking. I want you studying because I don't want anybody upset tomorrow when you leave class. All right, you're going to see the same types of problems. Nothing is different. All right, you just practice these types of questions. All right, 7 from those 30 and 3 from these 20. That's what it is. All right, so no talking. Get to work.